Well, hello and welcome to the very first Where 2 Points Meet. This is a series where I'll be taking a deep dive into the construction of a piece of music. I'll be looking at the songwriting, the arranging, the recording, all in the context of something that I'm just writing for me. So it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fun. Join me on this musical adventure. Come on, let's make some music. Welcome. I feel that there's a point of arrival when making a piece of music. A point at which you can say, hey, this is done, this is ready, and good to share with the good people. And I feel this happens when there's the right balance of the two following elements. On the one hand, there's art. And that's story, that's feeling, that's intent, lived human experience that goes into creating and performing a piece of music that makes it a one-of-a-kind creation. And then there's science. There's an understanding, at least some understanding of the relationship between the notes, a technical know-how that's needed to get the emotion of the song across. And it's also getting to grips with the studio and all the various gizmos and being able to try at least and grab that tiger by the tail. So I think of it as kind of two axes, and they have a point of intersection, and that point, that's the goal. It's like a blend, or a balance rather, between feeling and know-how. And I feel every piece of music needs this balance, but it's not a perfect balance, not at all. Some work might have more of one element than the other, and it's much stronger for it. But I think every song has its own perfect point, its own ideal point of intersection, and the music making process is about trying to identify that point, getting there and going, that's it, this is the place, and no further. And that's the point, that's the goal for every piece of music. Well, for me it is, certainly. So I thought I'd do a little experiment and make this a web series, which for now I'm going to call Where 2 Points Meet. And I hope to dive in a little deeper to all of this within the context of what I'm working on and music that I'm making here in my little studio. So thanks for being here. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be the first to know when the episodes are live. For now, there's some music to make, so let's get going. Alright, so here we are at the piano, and there's a little idea that's just grabbed my attention. Just three very simple chords, and there's a C minor, an E flat major, and then this, which is kind of an F major-ish, but it's more just a C minor with an F. And so and the interesting thing, it pulls me back in. It kind of does this thing. It resolves, and so I like that. I like that it then becomes a very kind of self-sufficient thing, without feeling that I need to take it somewhere else. Kind of a loop. And off it goes. See? So that's interesting in itself, enough for me to kind of put it down and see where it goes. So let's set up some microphones. All right, well, here we are around the back, setting up some mics. I'm gonna have two at the front, picking up mostly the kind of noise from the keys and the strings, but these, the back, are important. These are my two workhorses, my two AKG 414s. my poncho and lefty. These are used on everything. So the thing about setting up multiple mics on one thing is I've just got to be careful that the sound that the piano makes hits both microphones at the same time. Otherwise I'm going to run into trouble, into phase issues. So here I am with a very artistic tape measure, and I want to make sure that the microphones are equal distance. I've measured them before, and this should be at 25. Get back you. Gonna be this guy and this guy are both at 25 centimeters, and then the distance between them is 3 times that, so it's a 3-to-1 to the source, and it is from the middle. So that's about right. And these 2 vocal reflectors are just going to stop the sound bouncing, and I want to just record it as dry as possible. And yeah, so I think this is good to go. We're over here now. So by the power of iPad, I can get levels myself from the other room, and I can hear. And one microphone is not working. Okay, microphone is now on. Let's get the levels. We have levels. Now, what you might have noticed since I was on the piano before is that I have added these pillowcases to the piano. Now, these are much kind of thicker than really I should have, and they're all just thrown on loosely. But for the kind of thing that's stirring in the pot, what these pillowcases do is they're between the hammers and the strings, so it dampens the sound a lot. It's very dark, softer sound. And also what it does, and what I like a lot, and what these microphones are picking up, is the I don't know if you can hear it from there, but there's that kind of percussiveness and the sound of the pillowcases being hit by the hammer. So it's creating a mood that I feel feels right, and I don't know what this is going to be, but this feels like where it needs to be. So I have a piano. Levels. So I'm going to set the click track, and then I'm going to record, and then onwards. All right. And welcome to the Franc Cave. So cleaned up the piano, and I'm still unsure as to what exactly this is going to turn out to be, but whatever it is, I like it, and it's still got my attention. So you can see these 4 lanes on the screen. So the top 2, the purple and the red one, they're the microphones that I put at the back of the piano, and just kept this kind of nice, I guess, you know, real piano sound without annoying it too much. And then on the other 2 lanes, you can hear the front 2 pianos, front 2 microphones that I've jiggled with here a little bit, just to make them a bit thinner. And so you can hear the percussive nature of the hammer touching the pillowcase. it's quite a different sound to the top two, and then all together they amalgamate. And that's a nice feeling piano. And so there's a little reverb that puts it in its own little space. I imagine a piano being played like in an empty hall before the show starts, before the people come in. So just writing this up so you can hear it. This reverb gives it that space, and maybe it gives it a little bit of focus as well. And now with the added kind of reverb in my head, I'm hearing other things as well. Well, I'll get to those eventually. But for now, I just want to lay this bed and of piano and just see how it feels. There's one more thing I'm gonna noodle with. I have a delay. I have an Echoplex delay, and I don't know much about different delays, but I do know that John Martin used an Echoplex pedal, so I use Echoplex delays because they sound gorgeous. It's a very heavy color. It's a very strong color, strong flavor. So I'll write it up so you can hear. It's a dotted delay, so the repeats are landing kind of in the middle of each note. Now it's all a bit messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of time and ride it in and out of the track. I'll just show you a little bit. Okay, so that little bit of gadgetry has been done, and you can see here on the screen this squiggly line. That's the delay of the piano going up and down, and I guess I performed it I treated it as a performance, as the song, as the piano played, so that it doesn't get in the way and it's not just this sludgy kind of effect that ruins everything. So that's the repeat of the piano. It's just another, I guess, thread of the tapestry. So I've done enough piano noodling for now, and I'm gonna add some other bits to it. And while I add other bits, hopefully I'll think of the next things to evolve in this piece of music. And are there going to be any words to it? Is it going to be a song that moves? Is it going to be a couple of minutes of mood? But yes, I'm going to go and have a think and come back to this in a little while. Well, here we are. It's a couple of days have passed since the last clip, and I've had a little bit of time for the music, this piano loop, to just seep under my skin a little bit and get into my bones and think about what it is that's stirring in the pot that I want to say in this, that I want to communicate in this piece of music. And I think with everything that's going on in this world, not to get too serious, but with everything that's going on in this world, with all these horrible wars and all these displaced people, it's extremely frustrating watching it from the comfort of my couch. It's extremely frustrating that millions of people taking to the street to voice their protest make no difference. And you're kind of sat here waiting for a grown-up to come into the room and say enough. And that's not happening. And that's very frustrating. And you get to the end of the sentence with just a question mark. And that's all there is. So with that said, I shall now sprinkle some instrumentation into this piece. and then see where it takes me. So I have in mind a few things, a few colors and textures that I think might be good for this. So let's give it a go. Join me. All right, so first up, got this electric piano, this gnarly tail with the mod wheel. So I'm going to see what happens with that. Alright, so there's one thing that immediately comes to mind that I want to add to this song, and that's the beloved resonator guitar. There's a kind of a sweet spot when putting instruments down in a song. That's a sweet spot that's easily missed, and you go too far and just add on too much stuff, and then it becomes a battle to take things out. We want to make music that has a very pure and true intention. So I love this guitar very much. It has so much. You can do the bluesy thing on it, but you can do so much more, and it just has this graininess to it, which is very special. So I have a few ideas. I'm going to try and put something down. Let's give it a go. So there's one thing that popped into my head that I wanted to add to this piece as it progresses, is some kind of texture, something that would be kind of where you'd expect percussion to be, but not percussion, just a textured noise detail. So I have a series of these sounds that I dive deep into the gallows of the hard drive and come up with these peculiar things that I might find. These are some omnichord hits and some kind of camera transition sounds that, if I can just play it a little bit. And so just starting to kind of amalgamate the things together, and I might start with like this guy here and hear what it's doing. Like a camera shutter speed thing. So I'll think about setting it somewhat to time, and then I will think about warping things in and out of time, changing the speed so it then sounds like, and then we'll make this guy a little bit quieter, and then we will think about making that double. So together our textured loop is something like good. That interests me, so I'm going to now see if I can knead it into the track and do some sort of mix. So that's what I will be doing next. Alright. And after much noodling and tweaking and deliberating, I have a mix of the track that I'm quite happy with, and I should like to listen to it with you now as well. So hopefully you're listening in amazing speakers, or if not, headphones, and see what you think. This is called Warrior 1. And there it is. I hope you enjoyed that. So I decided in the end that it was fine, or better off, I should say, without any lyrics. So it's an instrumental track. Did you enjoy that? I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Thank you very much for joining me on this little musical adventure. There shall be another one very, very soon. My links are below if you want to find out about my music. So thank you very much. Keep listening, and I shall see you very soon. Thank you.